Welcome back to our rolling coverage of the Queensland flood disaster. Let's recap the main points for you. Sadly, 2 more bodies have been found in the Lockyer Valley, bringing the official toll to 12. The number of missing has fallen to 51, but there are grave fears for 9 of those people. The Brisbane River, it's due to peak at 5.5 metres at around 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, affecting nearly 40,000 properties. As terrible as this tragedy is, one fascinating aspect is how it's been dominating the internet. Across Australia and around the world, so many people have taken to Twitter and Facebook. To Amelia Adams now, who's been keeping track of it all. Amelia, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Pete, the response to this crisis online has been just incredible, unprecedented, you'd have to say. Twitter and Facebook, they're such a big part of the everyday media cycle these days, but these floods are really unparalleled in terms of size and destruction in Australian history. And with the situation changing so quickly as it is, a lot of people are relying on social networking sites for information. They're also using them as a way to tell their own flood stories and to ask for help.
Returning home the only way possible.
I'm outside my house on my kayak. I got to get in there and try to get something out and then come out as quick as I can.
One man's video diary of life in the floods, and there are plenty more. In Brisbane's outer-lying suburbs, this man attempts to drive to work. Stopped by floodwaters at every turn, he eventually gives up and goes home. Others weren't deterred. This man paddling through murky waters beside the iconic 4X brewery with his best mate on board. In the streets of Brisbane, boats and kayaks replaced cars as the water swallowed homes and businesses. These photos of a fast food chain were taken in Goodna just a few hours apart. And 2 kilometres off Fraser Island, the last place you'd expect to find a toilet block. Every photo, every video tells a story of survival, but devastation too. The disaster so widespread, Apple has launched an iPhone application. Queensland Floods 2011 has a live blog, updates on weather and road closures, emergency services and contact numbers. People are still missing family and friends, their desperation now being lived out online. One Facebook post reads, "I'm in South Australia and need to find out how family members are in Toowoomba. Our family are Warren and Enid Mills, also their daughter Andrea and family. Thank you." And offers of help. "We have a spare empty 3-bed high-set house in Hendra if a flooded family needs a place to stay." Twitter is swamped with messages of support from around the world. This from actor Jason Alexander. Footage of the Aussie floods look biblical. They are going to need our help. A great country, people I've visited many times. Please give. The popular topics today: Queensland floods, Suncorp Stadium, and Pray for Australia. And boy, do we need it. Amelia Adams, 9 News.
With so many people affected, there's a monumental relief effort underway to help those struggling. With me now is Major Neil Dixon from the Salvation Army. Neil, a great many desperate people out there. What are the wonderful salvos doing to help them?
Well, it is a massive effort between government agencies and community organisations. The Salvo's role in that is to feed the thousands of people at the evacuation centres and just to look after their needs with meals and that kind of thing.
This size of disaster, is it almost daunting for you?
It is daunting. Our volunteers rally round. We've had nearly 200 volunteers helping across the region in the different centres, and it's a logistical exercise getting the food in to feed those people. But thankfully, companies like Woolworths are rallying around and helping us with that.
That is good news. Major, what are they saying to you, the people in these centres? What are they asking you?
Well, there seems to be a very solemn resolve among the people that they're just waiting to see what the outcome is and assess the damage when they get back home and check that real need. So it's rather quiet, solemn atmosphere.
Your work is not just for a few days and a few nights, is it?
It isn't, no. This is going to be months ahead working with people in the recovery phase. This is just the immediate emergency that we're dealing with now.
Of course, you have a message to get out there because everyone who isn't troubled by these floods have been being so generous towards you and the other organisations like the Red Cross. What do you want to say?
Well, all the organisations have been inundated with offers of help from right around the country, and we would just say the best thing that people can do at this point is to give a monetary donation to one of the appeals, the Premier's appeal. The Salvation Army have an appeal as well, because that gives us the most flexible opportunity to help people now and when they're getting back into their homes.
Major Neil Dixon from the Salvation Army, thank you for your time, and we do salute you and everyone helping out. Thank you.
Peter.
OK, we'll have plenty more on the flood shortly from here in Brisbane.